The trident was imbued with the power to command the sea.
It really just was one of those wow moments.
Dr. Shock says that there is evidence of an early civilization on the island.
For millennia, the enigma of Atlantis has captured imaginations. A hidden city beneath the waves. What if it wasn't just a city, but an entire submerged continent? This video will embark on a journey to find the answers about how they failed, and where they used to live, and why they were so unique. So stay to the very end of the video. Scientific community. Let's travel back to 1858, when the zoologist Philip Sclater left an indelible mark on science, categorizing the world into 6 geographic regions based on animal species distribution: Palearctic, Ethiopian, Indian, Australasian, Near Arctic, and Neotropical. This classification system endures. However, a puzzle emerged during Sclater's era. Fossils of lemurs were unearthed in South America, India, Africa, and Madagascar. These regions lack direct land connections, and lemurs certainly don't navigate oceans. The perplexing question lingered: how did identical lemur species inhabit distant places simultaneously? The enigma of lemur dispersion challenged the conventional understanding that identical species don't emerge independently in separate locations. Radical answer. In 1858, zoologist Philip Sclater revolutionized scientific geography, creating a classification system based on animal distribution. Yet, as he delved into the fossils of lemurs scattered across South America, India, Africa, and Madagascar, an intriguing mystery emerged. Sclater, pondering identical species in disconnected regions, proposed a radical solution. A colossal landmass, dwarfing Australia, once connected these areas. This hypothesis, termed Lemuria, aimed to unravel the mysteries surrounding lemur locations and the striking similarities between monkeys in South America and Africa. In 1864, Sclater documented this theory in a scientific journal, envisioning Lemuria as a vast continent spanning the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, reaching from the Americas to India, including Madagascar and the Mascarene Islands. He coined the term Lemuria to underscore its connection to the lemur relics, establishing it as an ancestral habitat of the striped lemur. The concept of a land bridge gained traction in the scientific community, aligning with the prevailing views of Sir Charles Lyell, a prominent geologist. Lyell proposed that continents underwent gradual cycles of rising and sinking in the oceans. With this backdrop, Philip Sclater's Lemuria theory found resonance. Following the essay's publication, Lemuria became a compelling solution to various scientific puzzles. Remarkably, some even speculated that Lemuria could be the cradle of humanity itself. The theory, though stretching scientific imagination, became a lens through which researchers sought to understand the enigmatic distribution of species and the geological evolution of Earth. Concept introduction. Philip Sclater introduced this concept of Lemuria in 1864. 24 years later, Helena Blavatsky, a Russian theosophist and co-founder of the Theosophical Society, published The Secret Doctrine. This influential book outlined a sequence of 7 root races, each representing distinct stages of human development. Currently in the 5th stage, the 6th and 7th are yet to come, according to The Secret Doctrine and other writings of Blavatsky's followers. The first root race was ethereal, lacking physical bodies, possibly appearing as giant phantoms. The second root race was shapeless and asexual, reproducing through budding or natural cloning. The third root race thrived in Lemuria, coexisting with dinosaurs. According to Theosophist W. Scott Elliott, these Lemurians were giants, ranging from 12 to 15 feet in height, with yellowish-brown skin. They had strangely flattened faces, small but piercing eyes set far apart, allowing them to see sideways, and heads sloping backward and upward in a curious way. The arms and legs, especially the former, were longer in proportion than those of modern humans. This speculative narrative reflects theosophical beliefs about ancient human civilizations, incorporating Lemuria into a broader framework of human evolution and spiritual development. Land of Mu. If we embark on the early Lemurian period, the alleged human ancestors were believed to lay eggs, but over millions of years, their reproductive process supposedly evolved into a familiar one we know today. Helena Blavatsky's followers weren't the only ones writing about Lemurians. British writer James Churchward later delved into the topic of the sunken continent initially thought to inspire Plato's Atlantis. Churchward connected Mu to Lemuria, often considering these lost continents as one. Churchward's work is rooted in the translations of ancient Indian tablets, compiled in the series The Children of Mu tablets. These tablets describe an ancient civilization of 60 million people, eventually destroyed. According to Churchward and others like archaeologist Augustus Le Plongeon, the sunken continent of Mu once extended from Hawaii in the north to Easter Island in the east and almost reached Japan in the west. The Yonaguni Monument off the coast of Japan is believed to be the underwater ruins of this lost civilization, while Nan Madol in Micronesia is considered its southern part. The site features structures made of large volcanic rock logs, their builders and construction methods still unknown. Recent LiDAR imaging revealed an artificial irrigation system providing fresh water to residents and an advanced sewer system, predating those of ancient Greeks and other advanced civilizations. How many people used to live there? Inhabitants. The Inhabitants is believed to have numbered 12,000 at one point. Mainstream science suggests that inhabitants traveled thousands of miles across the Pacific in canoes. However, if Lemuria indeed existed, people might have simply walked there, potentially expanding linguistic and religious parallels between Polynesian and Greek cultures. For instance, the worship of a sun god named Ra on Easter Island shares similarities with the Egyptian sun god Ra. This linguistic and religious congruence implies either cultural mingling or a common origin. Various figures like James Churchward, Le Plongeon, and Helena Blavatsky offered distinct accounts of Lemuria's demise, but unanimously agreed on its destruction in a catastrophic event. Chan Thomas, in the Adam and Eve story, presents evidence suggesting cyclical global disasters. Supporters such as James Bromwell and William Scott Elliott proposed Lemuria's destruction 11,500 years ago in a global catastrophe, evidenced by structures like the pyramids of Giza across Africa and on Easter Island. This catastrophic event aligns with interpretations of the Great Flood, where melting ice sheets raised sea levels, submerging much of the Earth. According to this theory, resourceful survivors clandestinely rebuilt their civilization, hidden from future global catastrophes. The question remains, what triggered the destruction? Disagreements. Divergent theories surround the cause of Lemuria's destruction. Some purpose a colossal impact from a comet or asteroid, while others suggest a devastating solar event that stripped Earth's magnetic field, exposing it to extreme heat and radiation. Another hypothesis involves a pole shift, equally catastrophic on a global scale. However, one legend of Lemuria offers a distinct narrative, proposing that the Great Flood resulted not from cosmic or solar phenomena, but human actions. In Blavatsky's account, Lemuria met its end in fiery devastation, with volcanic eruptions fracturing the continent into islands. Gradually, these islands sank beneath the sea, becoming part of marine history. Churchward's version is more immediate and dramatic, portraying Lemuria's obliteration in a single night of terror marked by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and relentless tsunamis. An even more chilling proposition emerges. Some theorists assert that Lemuria's destruction was intentional, challenging conventional views of a purely natural cataclysm. Theories behind civilization. A 10,000-year-old narrative, found in texts like the Chronicles of Akakor, suggests that Lemuria and Atlantis sank due to a nuclear conflict orchestrated by the Anunnaki. These deities, revered by ancient civilizations like the Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians, are sometimes considered an alien race responsible for creating humans through DNA manipulation and later utilizing them as slaves. The Chronicles of Akakor narrates a tale of two warring divine races that engaged in conflict across the Earth's four red corners. J.J. Benitez, The Visitors, explores the theme of alien abduction, recounting the experience of scientist Daniel W. Frey. During Frey's encounter with extraterrestrials on July 4, 1959, they claimed to be descendants of Mu's inhabitants and mentioned another advanced civilization known as the Atlanteans. Edgar Cayce, through telepathic messages, also received insights about Atlantis. Edgar Cayce's description. According to Edgar Cayce, the Atlantean harnessed the energy of the Firestone through sophisticated mechanics. A dome power station concentrated the stone's rays using prisms, This energy not only propelled their crafts through induction, akin to remote radio control, but also invisibly lifted power vehicles across air, land, and sea. The aligned forces of the stone rejuvenated human bodies and fueled various industries. Cayce's predictions extended to the eventual discovery of Atlantis, placing in between the Gulf of Mexico and the Mediterranean. He foresaw evidence in the Pyrenees, Morocco, British Honduras, Yucatan, America, and the British West Indies, or the Bahamas. He specifically mentioned Bimini and the Gulf Stream as potential locations for geological surveys to confirm remnants of this lost civilization. Remarkably, Cayce made these predictions in 1939, and it wasn't until 1968 that the Bimini Road, considered by some as evidence of Atlantis, was discovered. Living period. According to Cayce and others, Atlanteans peacefully inhabited Earth for over 200,000 years, until the Anunnaki began influencing and corrupting Atlantis' leaders. The corrupted Atlanteans, known as the Sons of Belial, clashed with Lemuria about 25,000 years ago over differing ideologies. Atlantis sought global dominance, while Lemuria advocated for the independent development of Earth's civilizations. Lemuria urged Atlantis to respect their autonomy, but Atlantis, adamant in its pursuit, chose war. The beginning of the war. The war between Atlantis and Lemuria is said to have begun in 10,468 BC, according to some accounts. Plato, in his writings, mentions the destruction of Atlantis around 9500 BC. Another ancient historian, Hama, reports a catastrophic event in 11,000 BC. The advanced technology of the Atlanteans included flying crafts powered by fire crystals and energy beams harvested from the earth, capable of devastating power. In the conflict, Lemuria, less equipped militarily, faced destruction. The Atlanteans allegedly used solar heat to burn the world and attempted to extract energy from Lemuria, resulting in significant geological changes. The war claimed the lives of over 60 million Lemurians, marking a tragic end to their civilization. Survivors. The survivors of Lemuria sought refuge in Agartha and later retaliated against Atlantis. The aftermath of nuclear explosions disestablished the Earth, leading to a shift in its axis. Atlantis perished in the conflict, leaving behind ancient structures like Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids. Approximately 10,000 Lemurians survived, clandestinely rebuilding their civilization. Today, this civilization is said to thrive beneath Mount Shasta in California. Mount Shasta has become synonymous with the enigmatic. Proximity to the mountain is reported to yield strange phenomena, glowing orbs, unexplained voices, and a palpable sense of an otherworldly presence. It is considered a vortex, a place where the boundary between dimensions is thin. Native American tribes regard it as a site with sacred power, a place where the spirit world is accessible. Geological mysteries surround Mount Shasta. Its complex structure and diverse rock formations pose questions. Unique plant species found nowhere else raise curiosity about their origin. The mountain, with its rich tapestry of anomalies, continues to be a source of fascination and intrigue, inviting exploration into its secrets. Hidden city of Telos. Legend has it that surviving Lemurians migrated to North America, bringing plants, animals, and technology, establishing the city of Telos beneath Mount Shasta. Before its fall, Telos employed crystal technology, featuring structures with diverse functions. Healing chambers resonated with frequencies restoring body and soul, while crystal communication devices facilitated mental connections globally. Levitating platforms, guided by thought along magnetic lines, enabled transportation within the city. At the heart of Telos stood the Temple of the Heart, housing a large crystal pulsing with a rhythm synchronized to Earth's natural resonance. Locals near Mount Shasta claim sightings of tall beings in white robes. Hikers following them into caves find emptiness, yet some insist on hearing and feeling a lingering humming vibration. The mysteries surrounding Mount Shasta and Telos persist, captivating those drawn to ancient legends and the allure of a hidden city beneath a majestic mountain. It might sound baseless, but the story of Lemuria is not only told. In the West, the Tamil people indigenous to South India have a story of a lost continent that dates back to ancient times. The name Kumari Kandam was applied to this sunken land. Kumari Kandam. This legend continent, said to have existed in the Indian Ocean between India and Madagascar, is often regarded as the cradle of civilization. Ruled by Pandyan kings until it submerged around 10,000 years ago due to successive floods. While the legend aligns with the known floods at the end of the last ice age, the existence of Kumari Kandam remains uncertain. In 2013, scientists accidentally discovered traces of a submerged landmass beneath the Indian Ocean, suggesting a sunken continent that had separated millions of years ago during the supercontinent era. The details of this sunken landmass, potentially corresponding to the legendary Kumari Kandam or even Lemuria, remain shrouded in mystery, leaving questions about its structure, inhabitants, and connection to early civilizations. The absence of hard evidence for Lemuria or Atlantis emphasizes the reliance on stories, often from sources like Madame Blavatsky, James Churchward, and Daniel Frey, whose claims of alien abduction add layers of uncertainty to the historical narrative. The search for submerged civilizations in the depths of the Indian Ocean continues, intertwining myth, legend, and the quest for historical truths. That's all for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for all future updates. Share your thoughts on this video in the comments below. See you next time.